Welcome folks, happy 2021 to you, happy new year. I hope that you've all started this year as you mean to carry on, and I think that we can all safely say that we're hoping it's going to be a better one than last year. But anyway, thanks for joining me for another video. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who watched my last little kind of like Happy New Year's Eve video that I did, which was just a quick video of me noodling around. I got some really lovely comments from you all on there, so thank you very much to everyone who commented on that, and just as I said in that video, thanks to everyone for your general support throughout the whole of 2020. It was really cool to revamp this channel and get back to it with such support. Anyway, I've said that a million times, but thank you once again. So what actually happened was, before I made that little video, I hadn't played guitar for quite a few days. I had a great just sort of Christmas period off, and I consciously decided I don't really want to play guitar. I want to have a nice break from that all. And I did, and what it meant was that when I came back to do that video, having not played for quite a while, I felt really good about it. I felt refreshed, kind of felt like I'd been able to focus on my priorities with my guitar playing and what I wanted to work on, what I wanted to improve, and what I enjoyed doing. So I kind of took stock, if you like, of what my guitar playing strengths were, I think, when I came back. And you know, it was only a few days, it wasn't this huge reflective period, but nonetheless it was good for me to do that, I think. I think it does a lot of us quite good to just take a break every now and again and reflect. Especially when you're caught up with playing, you know, if you're a professional musician or whatever and you're playing all the time, you can kind of get stuck in some ruts, and just simply by not playing, I think gives you a nice refresher in getting back into things. So anyway, that's kind of how I felt, but like I said, it made me take stock of my strengths, and what I kind of decided is that I just want to enjoy playing more. And what that means is, I think by narrowing the borders of what I try and do as a player, you know, I love playing all different styles. With my job at Peach Guitars, I have to play a bunch of different styles to showcase what different ranges of gear can do, and that's a lot of fun, but it is quite, I'd say, a bit of a challenge as a musician to kind of constantly, the focus is constantly darting around. You never quite get to emphasize your own style as much as you might like to do, as if you were a musical artist or something like that. And that's a balance I've always liked to strike, because I like to be that kind of chameleon, jumping between different styles, but at the same time it's very rewarding just to sit down and play and just have it come out, whatever's going to happen, kind of thing. So that's kind of what I've decided to try and do, is just play more like myself. And I've had some amazing comments from you on various videos that I've done about the way that I play, and truth be told, you know, that when I'm playing in these videos, I'm not thinking about it at all. Unless I'm showing off a particular piece of gear and I think it warrants a certain style of playing, that's just how I play. So that's what I've got to highlight more. And it kind of dawned on me that, you know, I've been very lucky to do the job at Peach, and any other time I've got a gig, really, or done a session or something, it's been because of the way that I play. You know, for whatever reason, producers or artists or whoever it may be have decided to use me for a gig or a session because of what I can bring to the track, which is a huge compliment. It's a great feeling when that happens. And so rather than necessarily being the kind of the library guitar player where you just bring, you know, every possible combination of guitar styles under the sun to a session or whatever it may be, you can just bring yourself and present it that way. So that's what I want to do more of this year. And the same thing kind of applies with the gear as well. I've decided that, you know, I love gear, we all love gear, and I love talking about gear, but the focus sometimes has to be away from that. That's why I started doing this channel again last year. was to step back a little bit from the gear world. I've done a few gear things on the channel now, and I am going to keep doing them periodically, but it's not what my kind of primary focus for doing these videos is. It's more about the playing, as I said way back at the start in summer last year. So with gear, I've decided to just try and be a bit more streamlined. I want to simplify things. And that's not to say that I'm not going to buy new gear, because of course that's not the way this thing works. We always look to buy new gear, but yeah, I'm really happy with the stuff I've got. And stuff like this guitar, this Sir Alt T, I haven't really given this any love since I haven't had any gigs, because this is my primary gigging guitar. That's pretty much what I used it for most. And when I was playing here at home, you know, it wouldn't necessarily be the first guitar I'd grab, but I've been playing it a lot past few days. I love this thing. It's really, really comfortable to me. It sounds great. It needs some new strings. It's a bit grubby, but that's my own fault. That's not anything to do with the guitar. And it kind of got me sparked again on what I've got, what I've managed to achieve stylistically and with my gear. And it just kind of gave me a little bit more fire back to what I already have. So I'm actually kind of planning a few things with gear throughout the year, and obviously we're going to see how things progress as musicians with gigs. I'm really, really keen to get back to gigging in whatever form it might be, you know. So I'm looking forward to that, and I've kind of taken a couple of decisions that I'll probably document in videos in the future of I'm going to move to a more digital-based setup for gigs. So what you're hearing today in that little like opening clip is me playing through my HX Stomp, Line 6 HX Stomp. I've kind of built a new rig using this and the HX effects as well to control it with a couple of pedals. So I'll document that more in the future, but I'm having a great time playing this. It's so much easier than playing with a loud amp. Still love to do that, still love all these amps, but again, it's just nice to make a change. So I've really stripped back things, made them simple, or rather made them streamlined anyway, made them practical. It's quite complicated, the setup, as you'll see in a future video when I detail it, but it sounds good. I mean, let me give you a couple more examples. I've got actually my JHS Charlie Brown here in the effects loop of the HX Stomp as an example of ways that you can merge analog and digital. Works really well, and the tone is coming just through the interface on the computer, so that's where you're hearing it from. So that's an example anyway of something, you know, trying to just make a change to this more ergonomic setup, and you can hear it's easy to jump around with different tones when you're using this kind of setup. So I'm going to talk more about that in the future, but there's definitely an emphasis here on just using the stuff I have to greater effect. That's something I really want to focus on, and already it's made me feel better as a guitar player. I feel far less lumbered with all the possibilities. Just by streamlining things, it actually makes you feel better, I think. So that's kind of my approach, but you know, there's a lot to look forward to in hopefully later on this year. But what that means as well is there's a lot of things to plan for yourself. So I want to know kind of from you, I've outlined a few things that I'm looking to do this year, but what are your personal playing and gear goals for 2021? You know, in terms of playing, like I said, I want to go and just really focus more on what makes me as a guitar player, and that sounds, you know, pretty corny in a way, but it is actually a thing that you can do, I think. If you too, like I do, tend to just jump around and play all these different styles, what do you actually enjoy doing the most? That's kind of my biggest focus going forward. So, you know, hopefully that's going to manifest itself into some new musical projects this year, as well as kickstarting some ones that I had going already that have obviously been put on hold. So we'll see. It's all exciting. It's all kind of feels fresh again. Just having those few days of not playing, it all feels fresh again. So I want to know in the comments, what are your playing and your gear goals for 2021? What do you think of mine? You know, and I know they're not actually that specific. It's kind of broad. It's just like going to be myself, but that's my plan. So I want to know your plans. Let me know in the comments. Once again, thank you all for your support. Hopefully this has been a bit of a shorter video. I know I have a tendency to waffle, so a little bit shorter. That's another resolution. I mean, I'm not a New Year's resolution type person because they get broken within days. But this one, when it comes to playing, I really want to stick to it. And talking less, I want to stick to that. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, folks. Please like down below, subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you leave a comment with your thoughts, and I'll see you next time. Alright, take care, have a good one, guys. Happy New Year.